Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Zero to Empire podcast. On this episode, I have Matthew Myers. He's the founder of Myers Coaching. This is going to be a great episode. Make sure to stay tuned. And thank you, Matthew, for being on this episode and sharing your story that we're about to talk about. And so, to actually get started, started you or what inspired you to become a leadership coach all the way from the beginning?
Yeah, it's been a long time coming for me. I think that it's just always been great to connect with people and help them feel successful, right? And so, I mean, even as a young child, I love to connect with people and helping them. And I can think back even in junior high school, like getting involved in like special needs projects and just helping people flourish. And that followed me into my professional career. And when you can start to connect light bulbs and help people be more successful within business, there's nothing more fruitful than that because we are I mean, we spend so much more time in our jobs than we do with our family, our friends, with anything else. And so if I can make that a better experience, a more successful experience, then that helps fill my cup as well.
That's awesome. That's great to give back and help out others. And so you actually worked with some major clients such as TikTok. How did that opportunity actually come about and what ended up happening with that whole company?
Yeah, I mean, that was a huge blessing, right? And so I used to work for T-Mobile for 16 years. And while I was at T-Mobile, I built out a lot of coaching programs there as well from scratch. That were my ideas and, really exciting things that we worked on. And, some of those programs went globally as well. And one particular individual that I coached while I was at T-Mobile, I sat with him and, just observed what he was doing, provided him with feedback, and he had huge, huge growth. And I'm talking about in a day. In a day, because of behavioral based coaching, I helped him really shift his results up exponentially, and he kept that fire and that flame. So fast forward 10 years, and he was sitting in a boardroom, and they were talking about needing a coaching program at TikTok, and it was beautiful. A company like mine, a small company, wouldn't typically have a chance with TikTok, but he was able to get my name in the ring of sending over proposals. I mean, it wasn't given to me. I still had to share with him what I was able to do, the results that I was able to get. But because I had such great results from the past and I knew what I was doing, I actually won that bid for TikTok and started in a small team. It was in the United States because they were a more struggling team within that space. But what quickly happened is that I not only helped really transform what North America was doing, quickly it became adopted in Europe and Latin America and Asia because the results were so quick. Some results like 82% reduction in people errors by 45 days, or teams that hadn't been in the green and KPIs for months on end were not only in the green now, but teams that were at the bottom were at the top. And so just really exciting results that came from that and just helped me continue to do what I'm doing now.
Yeah, that's really cool and solid that you're able to actually help the company reduce people errors by 82% in such a short time frame. So what did you actually do that led to make that happen?
People make coaching really difficult and it doesn't need to be, right? And so I think that what sets my program apart from what other people do is, yeah, we've got concepts. I talk about things that can help you be successful, but what it really boils down to are behaviors. And a lot of people struggle with what is a behavior, and so being able to define what that looks like. What does success look like? What specifically do you want people to do? What do you not want them to do? And when we can build something out to really identify what's at the crux, what we're really trying to accomplish, then it's easy because then people know, okay, you want me to have light in the room? Great. All I need to do is hit the switch and the light comes on. Where in the past, in a number of different companies that I've worked for, it's okay, I want light in the room. Okay, let's build a project team over here. And then somebody start to rub some sticks together because I heard that that's a really good best practice. And maybe that'll start to spark some light and all these other things. It doesn't need to be like that. And the simplicity of what I do literally leaves people saying, how was I not doing this the entire time? Well, it's because one, we kind of get in our own way, but two, leaders get in the way a lot of their employees being successful as well, doing their best to try to help them, but a lot of times they get in the way as well, micromanaging or just coaching to symptoms opposed to behaviors like, hey, Come on, we need to get results up. We need to get results up. That's people want to be successful. We just need to help people understand how to be successful. And that's what my program does.
That's awesome. That's great you do that for these companies, these people, everything. And so when it comes to the story of TikTok, you told me how one of the employees of them went from almost being nearly fired to being number one on the team. Can you like talk to us about more of the story? What went into that? Anything?
Yeah, he was a great person to have within this program. You wish that people would take it as seriously as he did, but he did. Right? He didn't come with an attitude. What was funny about his story is when he originally started, he was asked. Like I sat in on his coaching sessions and I was listening to them, and it was just like he was really missing the mark. And when he got done with it, he just asked me a couple like high level questions and just kind of left it at that, but I didn't know that he was processing it. So he came back to me and he kept on asking me questions and he kept taking it seriously. He kept inviting me to his coaching sessions to observe what he was doing. And bit by bit by bit, he was able to turn it around completely. I won't say nobody, but he was just the best case scenario of people that you want for this program because it really does show you what you can accomplish when people take it seriously, right? And so he started to take it seriously. He was at the bottom. He was the team that I was talking about as far as that hadn't bet for quite some time. Yeah, and so literally at the brink of what's going to happen with this guy to flourishing. He became number one or number two on the team. He became the champion of the program. He later became promoted to kind of be over the continuation of the program because that's really important for this as well as it can't stop with me. It has to be continuous with leadership that leaves there. And he was a champion of it because he knew what he was doing and he was able to see those results. He's the one I mentioned as well is like not only did he turn it around and have all these great success from a business standpoint, it impacted his life. That's what I love about this program. That's what I love about leadership development in general is that if you can apply these things not only to your business, but to your life, new doors will open up. He was able to have nice, productive conversations with his wife. He says that he hadn't had conversations with his children the way he did in years. But it's because, wow, if you can start to listen, if you can start to observe, if you can start to see your behaviors, not only professionally, but personally, everything you start to show up differently. And that's just a beautiful story. I love when people can take it that seriously and take it home as well.
Oh yes, loving that. Or I love that he was able to make that change not only in his professional life but his personal life and make a positive impact on everyone around him. So that's really cool that you're able to make that impact on him that led to all of that.
Yeah.
And so with your program, you're talking about before this how you can't necessarily guarantee results, or actually you do guarantee results, or they don't pay as your policy. How do you actually build a program with that level of confidence?
Because there's literally not a time where if we can get really serious about what we want to accomplish and what behaviors are needed to be successful, then one, if we do these behaviors and you're not moving your program forward, great, then we'll have a conversation and we'll discuss that. Like, listen, you thought these things were necessary, it wasn't. Let's identify what it really is. There hasn't been a time ever in my program that I've worked with an individual or a group that we didn't see results coming up. That's why I can be so bold to stick behind that and say, listen, I will get you results if you take it seriously. If you apply this and you really try something differently, I will get your results. Now it's up to you to continue those results, right? And so I'll get you the results, but what's important is that reinforcement after the fact. But if you think about athletes, and that's what I love about this program, I love to analyze how you see them in the field, right? And so whether it's football, basketball, baseball, boxing, whatever these things are, in the moment, what you're not going to hear coaches say is, "Come on, we have to be better." Well, you might hear them say that, but when they get back to that ring or they get to their side, they're saying, listen, I need you to do this, and that's going to happen. Or this guy's coming in on you really tight here. When he comes in tight, I need you to break out left. That level of specificity helps you get new results. And that's the level of specificity that I help people understand and get. And therefore, confidently say, I will get you results or you don't have to pay.
That's a solid guarantee, and also the attention to detail is very important. And what would you say your program actually looks like from start to finish? Like, how do you set it up?
Yeah, it's important for me to work with organizations to identify, okay, what do you have going? Right. When I worked with TikTok, they had some other coaching programs that they had utilized in the past and they were trying to hold on to a little bit. What I do help people understand is what I bring to the table doesn't change 100% of what you do. It should elevate what you do. I can take pretty much any program that you've ever done and look at how it's being reinforced and what behaviors are associated with it and diagnose why it's working or why it's not working. So I work a lot with companies to identify, okay, what are you doing today? What's working? What's not working? What do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish? And we really curate that program to fit the business so that it's not this big giant change of, okay, we're going to start doing things this way now. No, it's what are you doing now? And then we start to move in that direction to help people understand that they can get more effective results by taking the program the way I've designed it out there. So, but first and foremost, do a lot of analysis, curate accordingly, and then help people be successful where they're at, and then help them get to where they're going.
It makes sense to set it up that way. And who would you say is your ideal client today?
My ideal client is either an individual or companies that want to get to a new result, but they're just not sure how to get there. They've tried other things in the past. They've maybe even peaked at a couple different points, but what is working, what's not working. If you know what you want to accomplish, but you're just not sure how to get there, I can help you get there. And like I said, individual companies, no matter what it is, I've helped people be successful where they're at.
That's great. And what would you say is one simple behavioral habit that most struggling leaders overlook?
I would say that most leaders overlook. Uh, mm, I hate to continue to say this, but it really does come down to reinforcement. So there's a really sad statistic in the development world in that in within 2 hours, if you don't practice something that you've learned, you'll forget half of it. And within 2 weeks, you'll forget 83% of it if you're not practicing it. And so one, as leaders go through, they teach their staff something new or they coach them on something, that can't be it. Stick with it, reinforce it, recognize it, provide that recognition of when you're seeing them do it, help them understand when they're not doing it, and really stay in the gap there and offer that reinforcement to help them be successful. Not micromanaging, right? Don't get it twisted because everybody hates micromanagement and it comes up 100% of the time in a good boss, bad boss activity that I do. So nobody wants that. But people do want somebody to help and support them. So if you fail, great. Don't don't ever make somebody regret trying something different. Help them be successful with where they're at.
Yes, I agree with that. I get that. And where can those actually interested in your coaching help find and reach out to you by?
Yeah, myerscoaching.com is the best place to go. You can take a look at some of the different programs that I offer in there, whether, like I said, it's individual or company or, just personal coaching to help you be more successful in whatever you're doing, right? That's what's great about what I do is that it's not even linked to your career. Let's say you want to lose weight. Let's say that you want to learn to speak Spanish, like whatever it is, the approach that I take to help people be successful through accountability and specificity.
That's awesome that you're able to use your program to do multiple things and learn things. That's great. And thanks so much, Matthew, for being on this episode of Zero to Empire. I appreciate it. And also thank you everyone for listening and watching in on this episode. And I'll see you all in the next one.
Thanks.